happy Sunday here in Maryland. What a day that we had, Keith, yesterday. We were just talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very emotional day. From a racing standpoint, really good. Handle standpoint, really good. Within the building, it was buzzing. But I think the focus, it was even maybe taken away from the stakes action. That emotional tribute,
Yes.
honoring Avery Wisman and then Eastern Bay, just fitting. I was upstairs
Completely
and
full
yeah,
circle.
yeah, I was up in the press box, kind of watching, the ceremony and everything, and then I looked down and I said, they're holding, the banner honoring him, and then next to it, the saddle towel,
Yep.
Eastern Bay. I was like,
Yep.
who he had a special bond with, and,
Yes.
and wow, that just kind of listen. If that doesn't get you going a little bit, nothing does. But I mean, that was the right thing by management. Everybody first bet, just really kind of taking note and putting a focus on mental health and how it really affects so many people, jockeys especially, athletes, students, veterans, people in the military, anything. So to put that onus on that, yesterday was really good, fitting that Eastern Bay got it done. But a great day, everybody involved, and really, I just had to be something for Avery's, the family.
Well said, Keith. I
Yep.
mean that just a kudos to the MJC and the first team to just highlight that and honor it and honor Avery as well. And then Eastern Bay just kind of came and backed everybody else up with that.
Yeah, and I
So
want to I want to touch on the fact afterwards, the interview with William Humphrey, and how mature he was in
yes,
deflecting anything really about him in that effort yesterday on that horse to Avery. I mean, that's class act right there, and really rooting for guys like that.
absolutely.
Hmm.
I just saw a tweet from him that just said Avery was down smiling. So
That's
just a
great.
big kudos to that. And
Hmm.
both and I'm as I mentioned earlier yesterday, both grade threes were taken by local Maryland jockeys, and both of them having their first graded victories. So a huge congrats to all the local talent that
Oh,
really showed up yesterday in our stakes action. Of course, we'll get to that. We'll have a nice little replay at the end of the show for you guys. But let's take a look. Things are looking good out on the track. Things have warmed up. It was a pretty beautiful day yesterday. There wasn't much of a wind. There's a little bit more of a wind today, but nothing too crazy, Keith.
no, no, nothing too crazy. Really kind of a nice day out there. The track is fast. We talked about it yesterday. Speed was pretty good. Little back arrow on it. We talked about it on the morning show. Dan Oman, thanks again for Dan coming
Yes.
up, giving great insight as he always does on that racing card. Well, I'm sure we'll have him back again soon on one of our bigger days because he brings a lot to the table. And again, read his stuff and watch his stuff. All right there on the DRF. But yeah, all in all, that track played a little bit speed favoring. I thought yesterday. Some tough efforts in defeat. If you had to spree, had to work through a little traffic. Lunch just
It
came
was
up
tough.
short. Yeah,
Yep.
but let's real quick though. Stonewall Star. I'll give you the buyers real quick. Got
Yes.
you kick-started in the wide country in 81. Coffee with Chris. They were worried about the distance. The Lasix went back on, got it done with an 88, paying 940. Nimitz Class, I thought might have been the show right there. That was a big effort,
Yep.
taking that pressure going on. A 101 buyer
Wow.
right there in the John D.
Wonderful.
Campbell. Hybrid Eclipse got the trip off the duel, 82 there. Toledo with a couple three in a row, right?
Yes.
Swaying to and fro in the Fritchie.
It was a typical Toledo day.
Yeah, with that claim, 88 buyer there for 1440, and wrapping it up Eastern Bay with a 94 in that General George effort. Freshened up, ready to go. He was super sharp. Kind of looked like the Eastern Bay of way back where he was up on the engine a lot of those races. You weren't beating him yesterday.
Well, Tim brought up an excellent point that he's such a bit of a warhorse. So
Yeah.
I just think warhorse General George. I thought that was very fitting
There
as
you go.
well. So
Okay. All
everything's
right.
tied together on Saturday. But here we are on Sunday in the first race. Starts the early pick five, of course, in this claiming 40 for the 3-year-olds, going 7 furlongs on the dirt for the straight 3-year-olds. Keith, you have the number 2 on top. Miss
I
U
do.
Ajax for Kieran McGee gets Toledo in the saddle back again.
Caught a little flyer with Voodoo Mama Juju in the
You
opener
did,
yesterday
yes,
at
well done.
1720. So we're going to try to make it two
Okay,
prices
I
in a
see
row
it. I see that.
to kick the
Sure.
day. Miss You Ajax. I thought that race is a little bit better than that 42 buyer. That was first off the claim, a little bump up for Kieran. Was 4 wide tracking a contested pace, but moved comfortably. I like the way this horse ran through the wire. We're at this period now where these 3-year-olds can make the big steps, the big jumps. Why not? There's going to be some speed in here. Bo's Bourbon is quick. Chelonian, maybe not as quick as Bose Bourbon. Johnny French Fry will bring some speed to the table. A price user here to get you started in Miss You Ajax. It was a confident ride last time. I think this horse can bounce back up. Uncaptured Storm, I have second. This one horse for Farrier, another jump last time off the claim. Yep. Big effort. We have a video. Let's watch this. Locked and Loaded was Arnardo Boca Chica. This horse had broken its maiden for 12.5. Jumped up to 20 here this particular afternoon, fretting this with the speed. A little pressure from Then Came Morning, but just biding his time and waiting for that rail to open up is Boca Chica. And when it does, Uncaptured Storm really responds. This was third time gelded back on the 20th, reported gelding of November. And this was the first, 2 for 2, the combination here of Lasix and gelding. All right, so everything's kind of come together for Uncaptured Storm. A little quicker flow here today. I don't know if he'll stay as close. We'll see, but I think he's going to bring a run into the pace.
I was just trying to look back in my records. He did this with another one, jumping it from the 20 to a really nice big jumping class, and that still proved to work out well for the barn. So why not Uncaptured Storm underneath, who I have in second as well.
Second.
I have second as well. You also go with A Lot of Sense, and then of course my pick, Shalonian for Jamie Ness and Jamie Rodriguez.
You like that one, turning back in distance, maybe a little bit of a prompting move today. He was used a little early last time, I thought, Callie.
I agree. So that's kind of what I saw last time out, which I said, hey, this distances might work out for this guy a little bit better today. But there we go. Keith, you still 2-1-4-7 in the first. And, of course, Keith, let's go ahead and get to your early pick 4 ticket.
All
yeah.
right.
Let's see how you play it.
It's a cheapo today, I believe.
I have a cheapo, too. It's okay.
Really? Okay. Well,
maybe
this has been a long week. We got one more day tomorrow.
We do.
So everybody racing tomorrow here at Laurel Park, don't forget. So, if you're a little light in the funds, go find a relative, a friend, and But here you go, 3-4-6 to get you started. Good afternoon, Oscar. Assume Nothing. Leonidas, the kind of 3 going to take a lot of play in there. 1-7. I've got Classy Nancy. Scratch the other part of the entry, right, Cal? Angel Canterbury is out. So, and I'll use Miss Fussy Pants in there in race number 3. Race 4, 5 deep. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. I think that's kind of a spread race in there. Lord Utrecht's my top selection, but I'm still a little bit leery. Singling, Titans Will. The jam job, second off the break, had trouble last time. We'll show you that. $15 for the early pick 4.
There we go. Okay. Keith Fusel is going to try and keep you alive throughout this weekend, this extended weekend that we have of President's Day being tomorrow, as we have racing tomorrow, but race number 2 does kick off. Keith's early pick 4 ticket with this first leg in a maiden special weight for the straight 3-year-olds going 6 furlongs on the dirt. You've got a nice little stat on your top selection, the number 6 at Lenoids for Tom Betty and Jamie Rodriguez.
Yeah, after I threw this in, I looked, racing form. I'll go back and kind of check some things. Dan, he had something similar in there.
Okay.
I'll tell you. But Todd Beatty, last 3 years, 7 for 19, a whopping 37%. Synthetics, the dirt, ROI, it's a good one, 352. Battled through some pretty quick fractions. Has come back off of that race at Turfway Park with some sizzling works in Granville. We'll see if the money shows up. I probably got this guy lined a little too high at 92, but I think he and Good Afternoon Oscar definitely are kind of proven speed types. Will provide that today. I think they've got staying power. Maybe we can get a little bit of price with the 6. Good Afternoon Oscar, the 3, just comes out of key races. No fault last time. A slight fade at 7-8, second time Lasix in the debut run against Omadata, who stretched out to run a big number. I think it was a 78. I think he's the real proven commodity in here.
There we go.
Therefore, I made him a slight favorite. They're 2-1 solid favorite, but any number. You got a couple firsters. You've got a real Irish flair on the inside.
I
but,
do.
We'll take a shot.
I do. I take a stab on the Cal Lynch runner. I'm looking at these gate works leading up to it, and it's that bullet gate work going 5 furlongs, and then another gate work sharpening things up, a quick sharp gate work going 3 furlongs out to really get things going. So that has me a little bit more confident in this rail position, despite the fact that it's an English channel who's more of a turf sire, and on top of that, only 10% with his first-time starters. But I'm riding that bandwagon of Cal Lynch first-time starters as of lately, 32% with that. So why not? Listen, I have nothing against Good Afternoon Oscar, so he has much to benefit from that 6 furlongs. I'm just wondering if we're going to get a little bit of a bounce.
Okay.
And is definitely going to be having some company on that front end. So it's a combination of I think we're going to get to see a little bit more of that first time out effort, but I'm waiting for that bounce to happen. But I do think that horse is going to be okay there. So I go 1-4-3-2
Okay.
there in the second.
Real quick.
And of course,
Yeah, just real quick. The Irish Real, just to kind of take it back a
yes,
little bit. This family, you talked about my English Channel. This horse is a full brother to Irish Straight. Really good on the turf, okay? But this is also, a half the Irish war cry, the sire of the two, full Irish.
of
And we
course.
knew how good he was. Those horses, the family, 3 for 7 out of this mare, first time out with 2/3. So it's been lively for the debut runners out of this mare. Irish Sovereign, good family. The two again, Lacey Gaudette. When she goes for these maiden special weight types, she's around it a lot. So take notice of that. So hence, I'm going to throw that one in the mix. 6-3-4-2. Brittany Russell's horse, a little bit of a guess off the turf.
Question
It's
mark.
still a little maybe of a turfy lean when I looked at the breeding, but I respect the factor here coming in. First time gelding, blinkers on, trying a few things for Rapoli stable. Let's go to the third. I know you're ready to roll.
Let's go ahead and go to the third
All
in this
right.
claiming 40 for the straight 3-year-old girls, going 7 furlongs on the dirt. Scratch the 1A, scratch the 2, but it also starts the Rainbow Pick 6. We're going to take a look at my ticket. I go 4 wide in this race. 1, 4, 6, 7. I think that's a bit of a spread. 3 wide in races 4 and 5. Race number 6, I go 2 deep. My single is on race number 7. I think it's an easy grab in mitten Mazel for Rudy Sanchez Solomon. Rudy having a win Friday and Saturday, and let's see if he can keep it going here on Sunday. And I double down in the nightcap of the day. The 3 and the 4 never change, and Shady Money in that claiming 10,000 to wrap things up. Not quite as cheap, 28 bucks and 80 cents. So I could have gone cheaper if I wanted to, but I tried to give a little bit of fluidity there. So,
Yep.
yeah, I tried. That starts in race number 3, of course, as I mentioned, 7 furlongs on the dirt, claiming 40 for the straight 3-year-old girls. Scratch the 1A Angel of Canterbury and the number 2 Blow Through Yellow Lights, which was a big scratch. Keith, you land on the Rail Horse Classy Nancy for Jamie Ness and Jamie Rodriguez.
Yeah, I like 7 furlongs for this daughter of Blame. Last time out, kind of gave up position early on a speed favoring track. Rated back is my comment, or ease back, came up empty. Turning back, a good close without the Lasix at Parks. I think this horse is going to really like the flow. Celtic Revival, this 5-horse will go. I mean, there's some other horses that want to be a little bit forward. I think if she can relax a little bit without it getting used too much past the 3/8, she's going to bring a finish in here. I do think the horse to beat is Miss Fussy Pants, your top selection. We have a video, right?
We do.
That
Let's
one?
go ahead and take a look at that effort from Miss Fussy Pants. Super game, by the way. Just in not in just her last 2 starts, but in the last start as well.
And she was down inside, and she showed a little sharpness, that speed that she showed in a race, 2 back at the 7 furlongs, a blowout win by 6 and change. Maybe not quite as comfortable. Jack kind of just had to ease her back out of there. She wasn't quite feeling it, but is able to
Yeah,
kind of.
look at her right now. She's not loving it.
Yeah, but she works outside in the clear.
Yes.
She likes this and brings a good run, just to miss by a neck behind Moko Gold for I believe Ferrier, right? So good effort there. Gets this comfortable trip. Doesn't have to worry about any problems down inside, it looks like, from today's post position. Good run here. She's in very good form for Hammy Smith.
Absolutely. So as we carry on, you also have underneath the number 4, Never Done. This one is with Tim Keefe, John Avella. Why not? This one, again, a barn that's really been warming up here in the wintertime and just knocking at the door. We've got John Avella back in the saddle. John Avella 16% for Tim Keefe on the dirt.
She's going to have to improve a lot. Her old friend Miss Fussy Pants is in there, and she
Yeah,
hasn't been able
exactly.
to kind of get her just yet, but she tries.
She
and
does.
I think Avella will work out a trip with that one. So, 1-7-4-6. Coal Mine, I think, is going to do a little bit better today.
I agree, which is why I have him a little bit higher ticked underneath. Race number 4 is a claiming 12-5, going 6 furlongs on the dirt for the straight 3-year-old. Scratch the 1A Freddiness. Keith, you and I land a little bit flip-flop, but you land on Lord Uhtred for Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez, hoping to make the lead this time here today, but gets back to a fast track.
That's it. Back to a fast track. Look, 3 back was only 11-1 to Prince of Jericho. Kind of an even race from there. The speed, I think, is going to be provided by Lord Uhtred, and even Hope He's Fast from the outside has had a couple tough trips of note.
Yes.
So I think Lord Uhtred in a shorter field here, maybe he'll go ahead and let the 6 go. Has enough natural speed to get in position to not be used too hard, and goes ahead and tries to pull that stalk and pounce trip that I like to show. These two, if it doesn't get too crazy up front, I think they can carry it a long, long way. I think maybe you're expecting maybe a little dual development, Smart and Fast, to come rallying.
There we go.
Okay.
come and rally and maybe sneak a little bit of it. But we'll be back after this commercial to talk about the rest of the card here on Sunday's Racing.
Introducing the first racing tool from Pegasus to Preakness. Iconic venues. World-class racing. Millions at stake. New champions will be crowned. Only at first.
Welcome back, and we're back with race number 5, this claiming 5,000, which have never won 4, going the 1 mile and 16th on the dirt for the 4-year-olds and up. Keith, let's go ahead and take a look at Titan's Will. As you said, the jam job with Andres Garbre. Johan Rosado takes the call. Maybe gets a bit of a better trip this time.
Yeah. I mean, and this was a tough ask. 20-1 in a return try. Get some proven veterans. You know, horse that won a lot of races. Yeah, kind of keen to go. I thought this horse looked good on the racetrack and showing positional speed, but just gets caught up in a little predicament there into the turn. Has to check steady. And his game is up on the pace or just off of it, and he's not going to be able to recover against this kind. Jock does the right kind. A little protectment, now a little jam. Dirtied up form, but I think he's better than that. Maybe a little positioning here for starters down the road. We'll see. I think Titans Will from this inside post is to the front or just off of it. I think he'll get back to his game today. I like the fact that Rosado stays on.
Okay, there we go. Because I don't have as much faith in you, but I had to leave this horse on. But here's the thing, Keith. We just talked about this horse getting into a little bit of trouble, and he draws the 1. So it's lead or nothing. So that's the only thing that concerns me. But if he does nab the lead, which you have faith that he does, which why not? He has enough gate speed to be able to do that. Then if he gets to the lead, then it's a done deal. I absolutely see that. So you go with that. The number you go with the outside horse underneath, Galatians. Mary Epler, Horacio Caramanos. Another one having just not quite the effort last time out. That was a thing that kind of raised my eyebrows a little bit. However, 3 back, key race going 2 turns.
Exactly, and against the grain of it, 2 back. And Mary giving him 1 more shot. I just don't think he's as bad as what he showed last time. He's a horse. I think you're going to get that drop in, kind of try to save some ground. He doesn't have that big kick, but I think he can move into this flow. You know, you talk about Titans Will from the rail. I think all he needs to do is break cleanly. If a horse like Lord Mio wants to go, and we've got, ridden by Louis Rivera Jr., new bug in town. I got a chance to meet him the other day upstairs,
nice
so that was good. Yeah, so best wishes to him. I hope he does really well here. I'm sure a lot of these bugs, they thrive in Maryland. But I think if Titans Will just gets away unscathed through that first quarter and can relax, I think he can get it from owner just off the pace.
There we go. Keith Fusel 1758 with the jam job in race number 5. Race number 6, maiden claiming 12-5, going 6 furlongs on the dirt for the 4 and 5-year-olds. And let's go ahead and take a look at that video of Here and No Further, your top selection for Brittany Russell, Toledo last time out.
Here and No Further comes out of a triple key race on the 28th, where the theme is a jam job, right? Here's another one from maiden 30 down the maiden 12-5, the 4-year-old by Toneless. Just kind of maybe hasn't quite lived up to what they thought. Gets in a little trouble here, just steadying along, leaving the 3/4 pole. I've got it all the way to the 5.5, so almost at least the 16th of a mile. This horse was just fighting Toledo a little bit. He's going to come back in a race with some speed. The road might go through Kieran's horse, the 8, no time like the present. But against those horses, the way Captain Quint came back to run, a big figure from Luigi Spirit, I'll give him 1 more shot here. They want to get the win.
Fair.
Okay, settles and maybe loops and swoops in race number 6.
I absolutely see that. You've got some interest in the 1, Doc Rock for Hugh McMahon, William Humphrey, returning back to the dirt. The last time we saw this one on the dirt was back in May in the off-turf event at Pimlico. So what is your take on that, getting to the dirt for this one?
Looking for a little bit of a price because we know the 6 is going to be a real short price, and Kieran's horse is going to take a lot of play. They're the 2 horses to beat in here. But looking for some value, Doc Rock, he's going to be first-time blinkers on the dirt, a synthetic to dirt angle here, second off a little break. Billy Humphries, he's patient enough. You know, horse just outside him that wants to go. I think he can just relax and make like a steady run into it. I don't know if he's going to win it, but I think he holds value. Love You Bye Bye, kind of a question mark horse. Another one dropping from Maiden 45. Has shown some pretty good ability in the past. Last couple not so good. Desperation times, but another one that might slip away at an okay price.
There we go. Like that angle on that one. Keith used to go 6-1-8-7 in the sixth race. Number 7 is our starter optional 30, going a mile and 16th on the dirt for the girls 4 years old and up. Scratch in the number 4. We just got the intel that the number 2 is a scratch. So let's talk about, since that one is a scratch, big scratch there. Let's talk about the number 6. Let's just, I want to take a second to see how, if this race sets up any different. No, because Maisel was the speed. So who, the big question is, going to inherit the speed once we get this scratch? And I'm seeing a couple of different options, Keith, but do you see hashtag Lucky being one of them in his recent form as of late?
If they want to go with her, which I think they will, it's a short field here now.
Yeah.
And now we're down to 5. So, yeah. I mean, she sat just off of Mint Mazel, made that move a couple races back and just couldn't quite go with her. The Tata showed up at those internals last time, 25, 40, was up on the lead. That was a different Tata. I don't know if she's as quick. If hashtag Lucky wants to go, secure it. This is the one that stays in. The barn's winning right now. To the front. See you later, 6-1-3. Let's go to the 8th.
And the 8th is...
Depression now. Your single's out.
I know. My single is out. Last race of the day, our nightcap is claiming 10,000 for the 4 and up, which have never won 3, going a mile and 16th on the dirt. No scratches in this one. Keith, you've got the rail horse. It's a theme today. You're liking a couple of these rail horses. Mr. Mosley for Corrales gets Johan V. Pedreas. Going to try and take it to the lead. That seems to be the only way this guy gets comfortable.
Mile and 16th races at Laurel. First thing I'm going to do is look at inside.
Yeah,
if you've got some speed, if you have a little bit of stalking ability and making a move. I think the favorite's going to be the 3 Never Change. Ferris horse going to take some play the 4 Shady Money, but Mr. Mosley was in kind of the wrong race last time. Open Nickel, Hot and Spicy Love, those kind of horses won a ton of races. Back to the 3 in life. This is a drop in class today for Mr. Mosley. Let's see, his 2-back number of 59 is good enough. I mean, that was his 6 furlongs. I think he gets clear on the lead. He's got carrying the weight, right? Maybe he can carry this speed a long way, especially the way the track was playing, because I don't know if anybody can challenge him. If he gets a clean break in that run into the first turn, I think he clears off. Let's hope he relaxes and goes a long way.
Let's see if he does. We also both have Never Change in our picks for Jamie Ness. Rodriguez also dropping down from that starter optional at Parks, no less, coming back here to Laurel Park, where that last effort 3 back at the claiming 40. So it's kind of a no-brainer as well. Easily going to be taking a lot of play.
And he might naturally be a little bit closer today with this drop down in class 63 buyer. If he comes to that, I think he's going to win it. Badger Tooth just didn't fire. He was a kind of a bad actor last time, a little fractious. Could have took some of the starch out of him. He just didn't bring that prototypical run with a wide trip. So hopefully he'll drop in a little bit early and make the run from off the pace. Yeah, the 3's the horse to beat. Let's see if this one, though, can pull the upset and go wire to wire.
There we go. Rail horse for Keith Fusel as par for the course of the day. But let's talk about his best bet and his price play, value play in the lightning round.
All right.
Let's go ahead and get to it, Keith. You have, because I still can't get over how you got that first one, Voodoo Mama Juju, yesterday. But that was well done. I loved it out for many different reasons.
Mardi Gras theme, it's just a guess.
Perfect.
You know,
it was
that's what
perfect.
we tell people. Just bet your hunches when you're at the racetrack.
Yes.
Best bet of the day. What are we going? 5th race, I believe. The 1 Titans Will.
Yep.
Is that what I ended up with? Okay.
That is what you ended up with.
I've got a lot of stuff going on. But again, I think this is a dirtied up paper off the last race with the trouble. Can go ahead and get to the front or just off of it and get it done. I don't know if I can even pronounce that on the bottom of the screen. But
I don't think that's quite
good.
meant for us.
I like that. Okay. Let's go back. Value play first race. Number 2, Miss You Ajax for Kieran. May not win it, but I think, again, offers a good value. Could slip away close to a double-digit price. Was hung wide, really went through the wire well last time. It's better than what that initial buyer, I think, shows.
Worked for you yesterday. Let's see if it can work again for you today. Keith and I, we're going to take off, but we're going to leave you with a replay of all the stakes action from yesterday, finalizing with the winner of the General George, of course. And we're going to take off, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here this morning.
Yeah, great day yesterday. Thanks for everything, the management and everybody everybody involved, all the fans that came out. It was good to see families here. And I tell you, if anybody worked harder inside this building than Karen the pizza lady, come see me, because I'm telling you, I was downstairs. That woman hustled so hard all day, every day. She does it all the time, but man, it just pulls it off. I mean, it's smooth. She's good.
Well,
So,
thank you very
yeah.
much, Karen. And Karen,
Yep.
I hope you have a great Sunday.
Stonewall Star by 5 as they come to the final furlong now. Outside there is battling Chickiness as Gormley Gabriella down to the rail. Here's Stonewall Star. She's the star of the show today in the Wide Country Stakes. It's Stonewall Star. Gonna cruise home under Angel Cruise in the Wide Country. Stonewall Star to do it. Now Coffee with Chris, Prince of Jericho, way out the center of the track, trying to rally now. Coffee with Chris has come to the front, furlong and a half left to go. Prince of Jericho reaching under a drive on the outside. Here the outside is Prince of Jericho. Coffee with Chris is digging down. Coffee with Chris just in front. Coffee with Chris running into the second wire, holding off Prince of Jericho. Feeling woozy is third. Coffee with Chris. Coffee with Chris in the Miracle Wood. Nimitz Class gets away from 8 to Beer Cold with Our Nation on Parade charging hard to center of the track now to second with 1 furlong left to go. Nimitz Class at Jevion Toledo. They're in front by 3 from Our Nation on Parade second. 8 to Beer Cold trying to hang on to third. Then Forewarned is next. Followed by in the inside Treasure Trove. Here's Nimitz Class sailing home again to win it in the John B. Campbell Stakes. 1 furlong left to go. Hybrid Eclipse Pistol is ablazing. Kicks back on the insides for a little more. Award won it in between horses with 1 furlong left to go. It is Hybrid Eclipse. Hybrid Eclipse, Toledo in front. Hybrid Eclipse, and it's a Toledo triple. In the Nellie Moore Stakes, Hybrid Eclipse takes it. Just in behind there is Liz Colvin racing in third, but weakened up in Feed to Spree. Extreme outside Moody Woman and Union Lake. Swaying to and fro with a furlong to go. Leads past the Champagne. Feed to Spree. She's trying to reach down to the inside. Moody Woman on the far outside. Closing to, swaying to and fro. Feed to Spree. She's leveling off late. Swaying to and fro. Will Hull sway to win. Eastern Bay turns for home with a lead. Starts to widen a bit by 2 lengths from Pirate Rick in second and Factor It In. Traveling third position. Down inside there is Barron, who's trying to pick up on the final furlong. But here's Eastern Bay. Eastern Bay up top. 2.5 length lead with a furlong left to go. Barron charging hard in between horses at Pirate Rick on the extreme outside. Yodelee Hey-Ho is making a solid bid into second. It's going to be Eastern Bay. Eastern Bay, the 9-year-old, does it from Yodelee Hey-Ho.